Deep in the ocean, there was a lighthouse that no longer had a keeper, no electricity, and no working equipment. Yet sailors claimed they saw its light flashing through the fog. Was it a strange natural illusion, or a mystery waiting to be solved? The lighthouse nobody was watching. Far away from the crowded coastline stood an old lighthouse built on a lonely rocky island. For many years, this lighthouse was a symbol of safety, its powerful beam guided ships through dangerous waters, warning sailors about hidden rocks and unpredictable waves. But as technology improved, traditional lighthouses slowly became less important. Modern navigation systems replaced many old methods, and eventually this lighthouse was closed. According to historical records, the lighthouse was abandoned. The keeper left, the equipment stopped working, and the building was no longer maintained. Slowly, the ocean winds and storms began taking over. The empty rooms became covered with dust. The metal stairs started to rust. The once powerful lamp at the top of the tower became nothing more than a forgotten piece of history. For years, nothing unusual happened, until one foggy night, a ship passing near the island reported seeing a bright flash coming from the abandoned lighthouse. The captain believed the old beacon had been turned back on, but when the report reached officials, they were confused. The lighthouse had no electricity, no workers were there, and according to inspections, the old light system was no longer operational. Some people suggested that the crew may have seen another light source or experienced an optical effect caused by the thick ocean fog. However, the report created a new question. If the lighthouse was truly abandoned, what caused the mysterious signal that sailors claimed to see? And this was only the beginning of the mystery. After the strange reports from passing ships, curiosity about the abandoned lighthouse began to grow. Several people wanted to know if the old structure was really producing a signal, or if there was another explanation behind the sightings. A small investigation team visited the island to examine the lighthouse. Their goal was simple: find evidence and separate facts from rumors. When they arrived, everything looked exactly as expected. The heavy entrance door was covered with signs of age. Inside, the air was cold and the rooms were silent. Dust covered the floors, and old equipment remained frozen in time. The team carefully explored every part of the tower. They checked the old lantern room, examined the electrical system, and searched for any hidden source that could create a light. According to their inspection, there was no active power supply, no working generator, and no sign that anyone had recently entered the lighthouse. The investigators found nothing that could explain the reported flashes, but the mystery became even more interesting when they discovered old documents connected to the lighthouse. Some historical records mentioned that sailors had occasionally reported unusual lights near the island in the past. Experts suggested several possible explanations. The ocean environment can create unusual visual effects. Fog, reflections, and atmospheric conditions can sometimes make distant lights appear closer or create illusions that confuse even experienced observers. Still, many sailors who reported seeing the signal believed they had seen the lighthouse itself. The investigation answered one question: the lighthouse was not operating normally. But another question remained: what exactly were people seeing through the fog on those mysterious nights? As the story of the abandoned lighthouse continued to spread, experts began searching for logical explanations. Was something unusual happening at the island? Or was there a scientific reason behind the mysterious reports? One of the most discussed theories was a natural optical phenomenon. The ocean environment can be unpredictable, especially during heavy fog and storms. Under certain conditions, light from distant sources can bend, reflect, or appear to come from a different location. Some scientists suggested that passing ships may have seen another lighthouse or a distant vessel's light, which appeared closer because of atmospheric conditions. Another possibility was human perception. When sailors travel through dark and dangerous waters, their eyes and brains must quickly interpret limited information. Fog, waves, and darkness can sometimes make ordinary objects appear unusual. However, the mystery remained. Interesting because many witnesses described similar details. They reported seeing a repeating flash pattern that reminded them of a traditional lighthouse signal. Researchers also looked into the history of abandoned lighthouses around the world. Many old towers have created legends because they stand in isolated places, surrounded by silence and mystery. Over time, stories can become more dramatic as they are shared from one generation to another, but there was still no confirmed evidence that the lighthouse was producing a real signal after it was abandoned. The investigation revealed something important. Sometimes, the most fascinating mysteries are not about proving something impossible happened. They are about understanding how nature, technology, and human experience can combine to create an unforgettable story. The lighthouse continued to stand alone above the ocean, keeping its secrets hidden. And for those who believed the reports, one question remained. Was the mysterious light simply a trick of nature, or was there something more waiting to be discovered?
The mystery that still remains. Years have passed, but the story of the abandoned lighthouse continues to capture the imagination of people who love unexplained mysteries. The old tower still stands against the powerful ocean waves, reminding visitors of a time when lighthouse keepers spent lonely nights protecting ships from danger. Many experts believe the mysterious signals had a natural explanation. Fog, reflections, distant lights, and unusual weather conditions can create surprising effects over the ocean. These explanations show that sometimes nature itself can create events that seem impossible at first. However, the reports from sailors remain a fascinating part of the lighthouse's history. Their stories became a reminder that even in a world filled with modern technology, there are still moments that make people stop and ask questions. The truth is that no verified evidence has proven that the abandoned lighthouse was truly sending signals after it was closed. But that is what makes the mystery so interesting. It is not only about a strange light in the darkness. It is about curiosity. It is about explorers searching for answers. And it is about the endless mysteries hidden in places where few people ever go. Maybe one day, new discoveries will reveal the complete story behind the mysterious lighthouse. Until then, it remains a symbol of the unknown. A lonely tower surrounded by waves, fog, and unanswered questions. What do you think happened? Was it a natural phenomenon, a misunderstanding, or something we still don't fully understand? Share your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy hidden mysteries, forgotten places, and fascinating stories from around the world, subscribe to Mystery Vault and turn on notifications, because the next mystery may be even more surprising.